Welcome, everybody, to another Georgia Archery podcast. I'm your host, Big John Chandler, and this is where we talk about anything and everything to do with archery in the state of Georgia and Georgia archers, wherever they may shoot. And of course, I have my friendly, I'm trying to think of something good, lovely uh, co host, Robbie Surface. What's up, Robbie?
I'm going to have to make sure that my wife listens to this one for sure. She's got to listen to this one. You used the word lovely.
Yep. Well, I mean,
I'm I'm good,
you know,
man.
we had, we had a lovely weekend.
We
Uh,
did have a lovely weekend.
so
We did.
usually I say, "How did your weekend go?" Well, I know how your Saturday went. I was there for just as much as you were.
Yeah, the
So,
majority of it.
so how did your Sunday and Monday go? Because that was part of your weekend too, like mine, right?
Sunday was good. I don't remember. We went to the river. That's what we did. We went to the sandbar and hung out on the sandbar and all. And then
Oh, cool.
Monday I went and looked at a house.
Huh.
And
Dum, dum,
we're
dum,
still
dum.
we're still in that endeavor. And then wound up having to go buy a truck. Um,
Excuse me.
yeah, um, yeah. I went and wound up having to buy a truck. So
For
went and
you or for her?
for me.
Yours died.
Well, let's just say there were some things in places that aren't supposed to be there. There was fluids in places that are not supposed to be in those places,
Water in places that's not supposed to have water.
and oil in
In
places that it
places
was
that
not
that's
supposed to be.
I
Yeah.
understand that. Okay. Well, now we know.
So yeah, Monday was a fun one. I
Uh-huh.
don't know that I'd use the word fun, but it
It
was
was interesting.
interesting. Yeah, it had a
There
lot
you
going on. Yeah,
I hear you.
but it was good.
Yep.
Saturday
So,
was phenomenal. I'm sure we'll get into that. And
yep. Sunday, let's see, Sunday, I pretty much was lazy. Um, got up like at the same time I got up the day before, picked up my tournament bow and went out and shot a 3D tournament. So that wasn't
so I
lazy.
heard.
That wasn't lazy. I
No, it
will
didn't sound anything lazy to me.
no, had a good time. I enjoyed myself immensely. It's been a while since I've been
Well,
on the
good.
3D range with those, and I will say that I got to practice more because Brittany came close to beating me.
Oh, she shot too,
Oh yeah, she shot too.
and she almost beat you.
Yeah, 6 points.
Mm. Way to go, Brittany. That doesn't look good on the coach. Does
Um,
look good on the coach on Brittany's side, but doesn't
she,
look good for the
she
coach
has
on his.
she has some natural talent. That's all I can say because
Yeah.
good
Well,
God,
she's always had it.
yeah. But she'll
Yeah.
never pick up a bow and it comes out. I mean,
Mm.
191 and 412s is
Is
what
what she shot?
she shot.
I
So
couldn't shoot a 191 and
from
zero
the
12s.
from the 30-yard stake, from the blue stake, but she,
Well, still pretty stout.
oh yeah, I mean, considering that the last time she picked up her bow was the last time I went and shot 3D at RBO, so you know
Well, way to go, Brittany.
she
How
was
about
doing
that?
good. I'm proud of her. But Monday I ran out to the property and did a couple of things. Matter of fact, I didn't. I stopped on the way back from on Sunday to the property, so I didn't have to run out. I didn't do much of nothing on Monday.
Did you grill?
No, I haven't. I did not. I was.
What?
Nope, I have not done
And you
that.
still have a heartbeat?
Yeah, but it's been pretty toasty outside. I gotta wait till
Dude,
dark
you're
to grill
telling
these
me.
days.
Yeah, it's
So,
been super hot.
but who shot this weekend? Let's see. Saturday, Bullseye Archery they canceled their shoot.
Hmm.
So that shoot was canceled. Um, Team On Point had a ASA qualifier.
And from everything that I have read, it was like phenomenal.
Phenomenal. That's right.
Phenomenal.
73 shooters.
And that was a Georgia, South
Yep,
Carolina
Georgia,
uh,
South Carolina qualifier because where he
qualifier. Yeah.
sits at, he's so close. So,
Hmm.
um, and they had out of that 73, what I say, 28 shot for fun out of that 73.
Which is good.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Okay. Is
um,
that a
speak,
rabbit hole?
It might be. Sweetwater Archery Club hosted a shoot, and they ended up with 34 and 25. Where them were for fun.
for fun.
Yep. And
Mm,
then we were at this little bitty um, archery tournament.
little
It
bit.
was, yeah, it was a little bitty, right?
Mhm.
87 archers.
On a very
Yep.
hot
Yep.
day.
Oh, I was pink when I left. Pink.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Phenomenal. Host club. I have to give it out to Mark.
Dude,
He did it.
I
Great job.
I texted him as we were driving back
Yep.
and told him, how well of an event that was run. I mean, and I
Oh,
don't want to take anything away from any
not
of
from
the other
anybody else.
clubs. Of
No,
course,
no, no. We're just
I
talking about
didn't.
the one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't attend on all the other shoots,
That's right.
but I know for a fact, especially with talking with you prior, currently at the shoot Saturday, and then even
Yep.
post, at how involved he was, asking
His
questions,
he did
going the extra
due
mile.
diligence. Due diligence.
Exactly, very good way to put that. His
For
due
sure.
diligence in putting this together. Again, I don't want to. For those that are
No, it's
listening,
not.
please don't think that that's a shot
We're
at.
not. We're not. No, we're not knocking anybody else.
No,
We're just praising him.
but what I hope that those that are listening that host events for this particular organization, maybe this was a good example, and asking questions prior to the event,
Prior to the event.
and going the extra mile,
That's right.
to try, because there's always going to be hiccups. I mean,
Oh,
you're
for sure.
not going
And
to,
we ran into a few
you know,
with target bells.
yeah, and those things are manageable,
That's right.
but there's always going to be hiccups.
That's right.
But Mark did a very, very, very,
He did.
very
He
good
did a good
job
job.
to try
So
to nip those in the bud prior
that's
to
right.
the event happening.
So S3DA State Outdoor Championship, which was the end of S3DA at the state level. End all, say all.
That's it for the
Um,
year.
it for the year. Shooter of the Year awards were given out. Team
Hmm.
awards were given out. If you want to see those pictures, they're uploaded onto
Georgia.
www.georgearchery.com.
I
And
did not take
the,
any
and
pictures.
you said like three.
Yeah,
But
well, I
yeah,
think I took one
yeah.
or two at the beginning, but once the shoot got going,
We just involved.
yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah.
Well, I mean, and you worked, I worked. I mean, we besides just coaching, um, we also, as
Fortunately, Brittany was there with her
camera.
photography equipment
That's right.
and handled the gig for us.
She does that very well. She
She
does.
does, and she enjoys it.
She
So
does. She
another
does.
shout out to
Yeah.
Brittany.
Sold a few shirts from Georgia Archery. So if you hold on, I gotta move my mouse around here.
Uh-oh.
If you don't remember, you put out a must know the what right something for this
Yeah,
tournament.
what was that? Remind me.
Robbie has hairy feet.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, what was it then, Robbie?
Uh, well, it was dealing with foots.
It deals with foots for
So
sure.
who won the shirt?
There it is. Look at that. Bam.
Let me move my show notes so I can see the picture. How about that?
Mr. DeFore.
He is a class act too,
Yes,
man.
sir.
He does. He always listens to the podcast.
Yep.
Um, he come down and shot our indoor shoot.
Hmm.
Just a class act. I love
Great,
being
great,
around that kid. You
great
can
kid
tell that boy is raised well, which all the kids in S3DA,
for sure.
you can tell have been raised very well. But
But congratulations on your win of the shirt. I do know for a fact that his family came back and bought 3 or 4 more and some hats and some
well, how about that?
others.
We certainly appreciate
We
the
definitely
DeFore
do,
family.
because every little piece of this helps go a long way in what we do. So, very much so. But yeah, we had a great time. 87 archers. I don't have the list up here because I'd have to fill it up. We had a
Yes.
bunch of good shooters.
Well, we know that they're all from Georgia.
For sure. And congratulations to all the winners who have worked
For
all
sure.
year. to get to this event and finish strong.
For
And
sure.
all of the shooter of the year winners left with a belt buckle. And then teams, there were three team awards given out. So
Hmm.
and at one point in time, my little team was in the running for that. But there's this other little
Yeah,
shoot.
I was going to say y'all kind of got
No, I mean
not affected, but somewhat affected.
we got affected. We just didn't
Um,
get. We just know there was a reason, right?
yeah, and I guess
So
that's where we're going.
yeah. Well, so what I was going to say is that I had two. You have to have five or more in a certain division
Hmm.
at each tournament. You know,
Hmm.
if it's youth, young adult, or eagle,
Right.
junior eagle. No junior eagle, just eagle. Five or more at each event from your team, and that's hard for small clubs because some of those don't even have five. I mean, they may have five or six kids, but they're all different ages, right?
Right.
So I haven't never even been in a running for that.
Because
Even
just didn't have enough kids
yeah, because I have two kids in
per
this
class.
and two
Right.
kids in that class, that type of thing.
Right.
But this time, my young adults had been five strong or six strong in a couple of them till the end because 4-H nationals started this week, and
Hmm.
two of my S3DAers had got in a vehicle and headed toward Nebraska.
Yep. Which is where they are currently as we
That's where they
speak.
are. Yep, day two up there happened today. But let's, congratulations, Mark. You did a phenomenal job. Um, Somebody had put me in charge for some reason for making sure whatever. I didn't do anything. Mark had it handled. I just stood there and looked pretty.
Yeah, but and I know that you're not necessarily the one to want to take credit for things, but I'm going to take this opportunity and not throw you under the bus, but maybe throw you in the bus.
Okay.
When it comes to tournament director out there on that field, you are the most experienced in a very vast way. Um, you know the rules. You've got so many events under your belt running them. You know what needs to happen when there's a problem arises. You've probably already experienced it. Um, the guy for the job was you, and it
Well,
will be you.
I mean, I appreciate that very much. I mean, I do this because we enjoy archery. I mean, that's why we do what we do. That's why we're
Right.
doing this podcast because we enjoy archery. We want it to grow. So, I mean, I'm a steward of my, you know,
Your
craft.
trade. Yeah,
Yeah,
your
right.
craft. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I try my best to do whatever. So I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, I've never been the guy to go, I did this, I didn't do that. Mark had a handle. I mean, there was a couple of questions that came up. I knew the answers to, and it went on out the way. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it was a
I
great
know
event.
you. I just wanted to throw that out there. You never take credit for things you don't necessarily want to be put on a pedestal,
No, sir.
but you were appointed that position for a reason.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I said, I think we handled it, and I think everything went great. I didn't get any complaints, not personally, about the whole event, and which was a
Me
great
neither.
thing. And I think everybody had fun. So it was a long day in the
That it
hot, hot,
was,
hot.
and it was hot, but
Yep,
we made it through it.
we did. And
Um,
congratulations to all the kids that worked so hard to get to where they got for real.
that's what I was fixing to say.
I mean, there's
We
no.
can complain about how
Oh yeah.
hot it was, but honestly, we wasn't on that field like they were. Yes, we were on the field at
Oh, for
times,
sure.
but at times we would sneak off under the tent, whatever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I got to give a
Let
big
down.
shout out to the kids, dude, because
Man, they were
the,
they
these are
ran
kids
through it.
that are on the average of 18 and younger. They
Yep.
don't have the experience and persevering through
Oh,
things
for sure.
that are often uncomfortable.
No, not as
As
a whole.
we've
Not as that whole group.
aged,
No.
as we've aged, we've
Oh yeah.
learned to adapt and overcome.
So
Every one of those kids
yeah,
adapted and overcame
that's right.
through that heat. Because this one thing, like we shot, 3D 2 weeks prior, and it
Yep.
was hot. Don't get me
It was
wrong,
hot.
but we were in the woods for the most part.
Yep. It was only
So there
harder
was
to
some
hit their ends.
shade,
Yep.
them kids,
Yep. They had to
dude,
stand out there in the
hats
sun
off to them kids because they were
for
on
sure.
that field all day. And I
That's good.
guarantee you, every one of them left pink.
Yep.
So
For sure.
shout out to the kids.
And
Congratulations to each and every
congratulations
one of
on
you, you
all the
guys
teams
and
that did
gals.
their thing, all the coaches to make this a successful year.
And overall, it was a very successful year. Of
I
course,
think
there was some
oh,
hiccups, and
you
and
can't
that's
look, nobody gets along with their brother and sister all
all
the
the time.
time.
Yep. And I
Our
don't know that.
family are gonna fuss. That's it's gonna happen, and we all have opinions. So we're human, so we can all make mistakes, and we can all believe what we believe, and that's not a problem, right? And that's what
Right.
we're trying to work through. But as long as we remember why we're there, is because we did this to help grow the sport of archery and to help the kids do
The
something
kids,
that's that.
and that's what it's about.
So
And I hope that coaches, parents, us as coordinators,
that's right,
and the state director, we all take those things that
and better
maybe
ourselves.
didn't go how we had hoped they would
That's right.
go,
Yep,
remember it and make it better for next year.
100%.
And I really feel like that is going to be the outcome.
Yep,
And I really hope that that's the outcome. There's no way that you can ever please everybody.
everybody. No, that's
Um, there's so many clubs, whether it be kid organizations or not, and ASA and USA and NFAA and GBAA and GAA. There's only so
oh,
many
sure.
Saturdays a month.
That's right.
You're not going to be able to always provide the most opportune schedule for everybody, especially when you're dealing with over 100 families.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just impossible.
that's right.
But I hope the parents and all that are listening to this know deep down inside that the goal was
It
from
still is.
start to
Always
finish
will be.
and will be going forward to not only provide the best event, but the best schedule and the best year,
That's right.
from
For the
start to
kids.
finish for the kids.
That's right. 100%.
All right, sorry.
I know.
I just
Look,
felt like I felt like that needed to
yeah.
be
I,
mentioned because there has been
oh
some
yeah.
hiccups and there has been this
Oh yeah.
date don't work and it's on top of this or
Oh,
and I get that
it's
and
always something, but that's fine. I don't have a problem with constructive criticism.
criticism. That's right. And yes, I would like to see it end a little sooner when the kids
Oh,
get out of school.
yeah,
We should pretty much be done. But at the
that's
same
right.
time, there's only so many weekends. So how
Yep.
do you do that? And I
We're
think
gonna
that's
work.
what we're going to
We're gonna
navigate over the
navigate,
next
try
couple
to
of
work.
months
Yep, to
to
figure
try
out
to.
what's best for everybody. Because I'm not gonna lie, I hate to say it, those kids. I talked to a bunch of them, and they really want to shoot more than one outdoor year.
Yeah, Avery today. Hats off to Avery Varnado.
Oh, for sure,
First
she
first
shot
year ever shooting
podium.
S3DA.
Yep.
Even though she's my kid, I'm so proud of her.
Oh,
She did extremely well. But she mentioned today that she'd like to do that again.
so
And
see
she's
that?
not ready, even though the year's
No,
been long and she didn't get to compete in all the events. She wants to go shoot another tournament somewhere.
that's right.
So
Well,
we're kind of looking at the schedule going forward and trying to find her an event just for her to go play in.
I can give you one.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Okay. The GAA is having their Georgia Cup in a few weeks, so that's just an event you might want to look into.
Yep, may have to do that.
It's up there in Conyers, so I mean, but anyway, so we got done with Saturday. Whatever, like I said, I woke back up the next morning and ran over. Actually, I unloaded the truck from the night before with all the tables and
Hmm.
pop up and all that, and grabbed the bow, grabbed Brittany's bow, and we rode over to R&D. So they shot a qualifier, which was the last qualifier of the year, as we talked about,
Hmm.
last time to qualify, and they ended up with 70 shooters, me and Brittany included, and they had 25 of those 70 registered for fun.
Good deal.
So, had a great time. I had a great group. You saw a shot with the Bird brothers,
Uh
Nate
huh.
brothers. That's brother.
Well,
That's
father
son,
son.
father, son, and then James Taylor. So, and then me and Brittany, and we had a good time. and enjoyed myself. I did shoot a five. Um, it was my fault. I mean, I made a bad shot. It's no, but overall, I was really close to most of the 12s that I didn't hit. Um, I will talk about one just because this is 3D. And a lot of other guys that listen like 3D. Um, Daniel put his arrow in the 12. James Taylor gets up. I said, James, push his arrow through the target and out the back, and we'll give Daniel a 0. Just a joke.
I,
Not,
I know where this is going.
So guess what happened? He says, I'm going to do it. If I push him out the back, y'all going to give him a 0? It's like, yep. Whop! Daniel's arrow did not hit the ground, but there was nothing but fletchings left, like catching it. That's the only thing that held it there. He dug into that arrow. He nailed it so good that he had 7 or 8 inches of his arrow buried into Daniel's arrow.
Wow.
And it was blowed out the back the rest of the way. So his point was hanging out the back of the target. James Taylor's point was hanging out the back of the target, and Daniel's arrow was that much further. So it was.
Jeez.
I got some pictures. It's pretty cool. And we had a good time. I stepped up there, and then they all said, "Hey, John, make it a three-peat." You push both of ours out, and then we both get 0s. And because Daniel's arrow disappeared. I mean, we didn't know if it was out, if it was laying on the ground, or what.
That's wild.
So the next thing I do, whop! Well, I didn't catch it hard enough. I think I caught more of Danny's arrow than that arrow. But needless to say, it was a good time. We laughed.
Did Daniel get a 0?
No, because his arrow hung on to James's arrow, so they both got 12s. And I mean, my hat's off. James shot 11.
That's stout, though.
James shot.
Being able to call that.
Look, that's what he said. He goes, I've called and joked. I've joked about it before, but I ain't never called it and done it. And James shot 11 12s. So he shot pretty good.
He was on fire.
Yeah, he was shooting good. But yeah, we had a great time. I enjoy it. And that was the first time I picked up my 3D bow because I've been shooting my hunting bow because I got it ready for TAC. And I have this other event the end of next month that I'll be going to. So I'm trying to get all that going. So we had a good time, but we went, as we called through this list Saturday and Sunday, 28 for fun, 25 for fun, 25 for fun. What say you about fun archers at a local 3D shoot?
They're a necessity.
Necessity, okay.
Yeah.
So we had this discussion on the range, of course, because James was talking about, man, I remember when we used to have 100. And yes, I remember those days too. When you'd have 100 people turn out to shoot. You remember those days.
Oh yeah.
The Triple Crown, whatever. We had a great time doing that and had a lot of folks. But he said the money's not there. So people don't want to show up. I said, they're showing up. The 70 archers, 80, 73 archers. I'm pointing at my screen over here. That means that, those are pretty good numbers because we've been reading these numbers all year.
Right.
And so those wasn't bad numbers. But at the same time, they're not shooting for money. So he was saying that, people don't show up because they don't, there ain't no money involved and it ain't worth driving a gas. And I have a different opinion. For these local clubs, they've made more money on every one of those fun shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because they didn't pay nothing back.
They didn't have to pay anything back of that. All right? Yes, it's a little cheaper. 15 versus 25 or whatever it was. Because it was a qualifier. But that's $15 they got to keep no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that is I think that this is where archery's going. The fun of it.
And that, man, this is kind of a two-part deal. On the local level, I never, when I was shooting and playing in the game on a regular basis, shot it for money. Never really shot in a class that paid a lot of money. Was never good enough to even consider that I'm gonna go try to win $100 because
Yeah.
or $200 or whatever because I just wasn't that good. I didn't do it because
Of the money.
of the money.
But there were days.
Now, don't get me wrong. Sorry to interrupt, but I understand and can respect James's opinion.
Mhm.
But I, for one, was never in it for the money. I did it because I loved it and still do.
Oh, for sure. But what
Um,
I'm saying
if I
is
didn't work in it every day, it'd
the
probably be a lot more
trend.
enjoyable. But the trend, yes,
You
you can
see
see
the
that
you
by
can
the
see
numbers.
it in the numbers that the trend is. I mean, everybody goes to TAC and has a ball,
Hmm.
and nobody comes home with money unless they
Mm-mm.
shoot the extra truck or this or
Right,
that.
the novelty shoots.
Novelty shoots, right? And at the same time, we used to have novelty shoots at all the local stuff.
Hmm.
So that's the same. But I believe that it's two parts to that. Yes, the economy is not where it was some
Hmm.
days, so people don't travel as much. They don't do those two a day. We used to shoot two on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Telling me.
I mean, you remember those days. Get up early and try to double team some.
Hmm.
Um, but those days are gone.
Well, and yeah, unfortunately, they're gone, and
I'm
I'd
not.
love to see them get
Oh,
back to
for
that. Now,
sure.
it's
But
hard for people like you and myself to be able to participate like that just because of
well,
the industry that we work in.
so R&D changed their days till Sunday because I said, well, I can never make your shoot. And then he changed it 2 years ago, and this is the first shoot I made.
Yeah, well, and when I say that,
Yep.
it's not necessarily just because it's on a Saturday. Yes,
No,
it being on a Saturday has
for
a
sure.
very large
Oh, for sure.
effect,
Yep.
but we also, and I don't want to take anything away from the sport because I am infatuated, if you will,
Oh,
with
for
the
sure.
sport. But I play with bows for 5 days a week,
Yep. Do you really want to
10,
pick yours?
10 to
Do you
11,
want to?
sometimes
Do
12
you,
hours a day.
do you really want to pick yours up and play for another 2 hours? Mm,
No,
you know.
not all the time.
No.
Unfortunately, and it was different for me prior to working in the industry
Oh, for sure.
every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I still
Because
enjoy it.
that
I
was your
still
escape
love
from. It was also your escape from job,
it.
right? It
Yeah,
was
it was
different.
my escape from reality, from
That's right.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like when I get out here and I shoot in the yard, it's still an escape. Don't get me wrong, and it's still
Oh,
very
yes.
peaceful, minus the gnats that we have here that y'all don't have up there. It's still an escape, but sometimes, even though when I'm shooting, it's almost like work.
Oh, I understand. I understand
You know,
completely. I
so
think that I think that I went into the TAC event with this straight thing that I don't care if I hit targets or not hit targets. I'm just going to have a ball.
and
And that's
that is like I went to one of the ASAs last year.
yep.
I didn't prepare. I mean, I had arrows fletched, and I shot I don't know 2 or 3 times prior to leaving.
Just to make sure it's working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wasn't prepared. And
That's
was I excited? Yeah, dude. I was. I really
it's
wanted to
just been
go. I
so
wanted to
long.
go
Yeah.
see people.
That's right.
Excuse me. It had been so long. Oh, I didn't go to try to place. Now I
Right.
had a really good first day, and if
Mm-hmm.
I could have backed it up with a really good second day,
Yep.
there would have been a potential opportunity there. But I couldn't put 2 days together. But anyway, I didn't go to compete or be competitive. I went to see folks I hadn't seen in years. I went to go have fun, and
Yep.
I think, and we hadn't talked about this prior to the podcast, but I got a feeling I know where this was even going. As you said, that's kind of where the sport's going is just for the enjoyment.
That's right.
That's why we went to TAC.
hundred
Had
percent.
never done it, wanted to do it.
Great
Will
enjoyment.
absolutely go back next year.
Rumor
Um,
has it they're doing two in Georgia.
well, we'll definitely participate in one. Um, but I prepared for TAC far more than I did last year when I went to the ASA.
Yes, sir. 100%.
And I was going to have fun. So, not to take anything away from James's point, because he does have
No,
a
no,
valid
no.
point.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I never competed for
The
trying to
money.
trying to make money.
Wasn't for the
Because,
money. 100%.
dude, I don't know that on a local level that you could ever make any money between
Our
equipment and fuel cost
for
and
sure.
etc.
Our I mean, I just wanted to talk about it because I put those little numbers out in our show notes so you could see because I talked to all of them about fun shooters, and it's been the fun shooter number has gone up and up and up, right? Some of those are pros, they don't get to shoot an ASA qualifier, you know,
Right.
so they don't qualify for an ASA, so they don't, so they're going to shoot for fun anyway. And then on the other side, if you're out of the shooter of the year points, but you're qualified to shoot the state and you're going to shoot state, what, you know, what's
Yeah.
that?
Why spend the
Yeah,
extra dollars?
100%. That's where I was at. I
And I
mean,
can understand that. I
yep.
mean, that's probably how I would view it too.
Hmm.
With things being as tight as they are,
That's right.
economy wise, fuel costs, a lot of et cetera. So it's somewhat of a double edged sword.
Oh, 100%.
You'll never
No,
please.
no,
This is another one of those things that you'll never please everybody.
no.
I mean, and I can fully understand and respect James's point, but at the same time, if I'm out of the mix
Yep.
and don't have a chance,
I was. That's why I mean, I shot a
why would I
qualifier.
spend the extra money? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I
I've
mean,
already, I've already qualified. I shot two. So shooting the third wouldn't have put me in the hunt. Even if I had a phenomenal score, I wouldn't have put me in the hunt. So I was like, hey, I'm just going to shoot for fun. And I had a blast. There's no doubt about it. Um, yeah. So I think there's a shift in the
game.
shooting. I would love to see those 150 numbers that we used to have back when. I mean,
You
there's
know, and you said that earlier. I was trying to think back, and I don't remember. We'll use travel baseball as an example because it's one of the largest
yep,
youth organizations or events or
organization.
whatever that
Yep,
happens. I don't remember travel baseball being as big then as it is now.
yep.
Um, and like we've got a couple of guys here that were shooting regularly up until travel baseball started for their children,
That's
and
the end of
once it
that.
started,
That's
they
right.
were done.
I'm done. That's right. I got bigger
Um,
fish to fry.
how
Yeah,
do we get back to those numbers?
I-
Because of course, there is families that don't do
for
travel
sure. Yep.
baseball or other sports, soccer or
Mhm.
whatever.
The cool part about archery is anybody can do it. So
Yeah, for sure.
you don't have to be the fastest. You don't have
The
to throw the ball
tallest,
the hardest. You
right?
don't have to, So those things are. I always call. This is funny. I always say that archery is the misfit toys of sport
Yeah, it's more of a discipline, I think.
because we're all great people, but we just ain't fast enough. And this, I mean, you can look at me and tell I ain't the fastest guy in the thing.
Well, that makes two of us there, Bubba.
But I can shoot a bow and have some fun, and anybody can. But yeah. So it's just something I wanted to get into a little bit.
You
Talk
know,
about.
and we've talked about the podcast going forward now that the
More things to talk about.
competitive side is
It's gonna
kind
ease
of
down.
dwindling down for the year.
That's right.
Maybe we get guys like James and do
Yeah.
have him
Questions.
and give him the opportunity to voice his opinion,
That's right.
and potentially because the
Starters
goal for
conversation.
this, the goal for all of this is nothing but to grow the sport and spread the love, if you will. And there's valid points on, yeah, I want to shoot for the competitive side and I want to shoot for the fun side.
All right. So
But
so look in the comments. No matter where you see this, if you hear it on wherever in the comments, make a comment below. What do you think about the shooting for fun and the participation?
and the good
Uh,
thing about that is there's not going to be a right nor wrong answer.
no, no. I mean, but let's just hear what the viewers, what the listeners have to say. Go ahead, put it in the comments below. We'd appreciate to read that. Like I said, we talked about the comments last week, and a gentleman posted and said we're doing a great job. He said that arrow build is going to be you're not going to make everybody happy because somebody's going to be mad because you didn't build the one that they want. And I said it's perfect, but at least it was a comment. He said, "Think this comment helps," and I was like, "Yep, thank you." Put some comments below. What do you think about the participation part and the shooting for fun? So,
Yeah, please do. I'd be curious to go and read all the difference of opinions.
yep. So you bragged on a few kids. As you know, you started Walton County
Hmm.
4-H back up in the archery when you were up this way.
Yeah, 2017, I think.
17 or
18.
18?
Yeah,
18.
17 or 18.
Yep. So it just so happens that some of those kids that were in that original group are now in the senior group and made it the cut. We talked about it the other week. So
Hmm.
they started, had practice in Nebraska. They all got out there safely. I'm gonna have to ping one. Gabriella flew because she wanted to shoot S3DA
Right.
because she was in the hunt
And won it.
and won.
Congratulations, Gabby.
Yes, so she did a great job. Um, Others were, driving, so they had to leave earlier, and that's cool too. So after day one at the Nationals in Nebraska, the compound team was sitting in third place after day one.
Congratulations.
So the compound team from Georgia, good job. That would put Gabby shot in second place in the FIDA. Now they shot FIDA. That's the outdoor event.
Hmm.
So Gabby shot second place in the outdoor event. Allie was in 14th. Jackson was in 19th. Douglas was in 23rd.
Old
That's
Dougie.
out of 92 shooters,
All in the top half.
all in the top half. So the recurve team from Forsyth County. Go ahead and read those names for me, there, boss man.
The recurve team finished second
Second
on day two.
on day one.
Or, yeah, day one.
Yep.
Finished second on day one. And that's where I'm going to draw the line because I will booger not one.
Siri Eshaha
Every one of those names,
was
unfortunately.
second. A Rush, like
That's not Aaron.
no, it's A Rush. Was in fourth. Something
Rathana,
Rathana was in 37th, and
Maya.
Maya
Mia,
was
Maya.
in was in 42nd. So that put them in second place on day one. So day two was today, and I mean, as we were getting this started,
Wednesday,
this would be Wednesday.
June 26th.
Yep. As we were getting started with this, the scores got updated. So I didn't put in where everybody finished overall, but on day two, the compound team was in fifth place. They shot field.
Hmm. And I heard it was a lot
Windier.
there was a lot more wind in
Yes.
today.
And then the recurve team for Forsyth County, they ended up first in the field
Congratulations to
event.
both
So
teams.
both teams will go and shoot 3D tomorrow. So we'll see at the end of where they finished overall.
I
So
did. Mr. Lon told me that there is thunderstorms
chance for
potentially
yep,
for tomorrow.
chance for some weather problems. So
Hopefully, it holds off and they
yep.
all get to participate.
and and on the other end of that, um, Gabriella, tell you, all right, shoots S3DA. This is dedication from a youth. Shoots the S3DA. Gets on a plane, drives to Nebraska. I mean, flew to Nebraska. She's shooting these three events, however long it takes to get 3D if they have weather. And then she's getting in the car and she's driving to see Superman in Metropolis for the ASA shoot.
That's a love for the sport.
That is a love for the sport, period. So, I mean, you get hats off to her for
For
that.
sure.
And her
And you
family.
know what? Got to give a hats off to her mom and dad
Oh, her family for
for
sure.
facilitating all that for
Oh,
her.
yep. So
So great
that's
family.
awesome. Yeah. Oh, for sure. But what's happening this weekend? We just mentioned it. Everybody's gonna go see
Superman.
Superman. They're in Metropolis for the ASA Pro Am Tour. So I will.
Probably the hottest tournament of the year.
Oh my gosh! You telling me?
Probably
Ooh.
the hottest tournament of the year.
You telling me? It is hot. It is
Yeah.
hot.
And if it's anything like it's been
Hot.
here the last couple of days,
It's hot.
I mean, it was 92 in the range today with two air conditioners running wide open.
Yeah, it is hot.
Hot.
But I tell you what, there'd be a lot of Georgians headed that way. They're also doing, just for FYI, World 3D qualifications for World Team. They started today, was day one. I think tomorrow's day.
Are they doing that in Metropolis as well?
It is doing that in
Yeah.
Metropolis, yes. And we have some Georgians shooting that event. So good luck to you that are trying to make
Do
the
we know
world.
who it is?
Yes, I know a
Because
couple.
Dalton Reynolds done that years ago.
Yes, Dalton did that. Went and won gold in Paris. I
That's
remember
right.
that. So, yes, I can't remember. I just didn't. I looked. I scanned through the list real quick. There were some Georgians in that. So,
Well, good luck to
good luck.
all of
Good
them.
luck to y'all. Good luck to everybody who's traveling safely to the event. We know there's a crowd that always goes, and good luck. Put Georgia on the map. I hope we get to see some pros in the shoot downs from Georgia
Good luck to every one of them.
for sure. And then every amateur, just as much luck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do your thing
Have fun. Don't
for
sweat
sure.
to death. Drink plenty of water.
Oh yeah, drink a lot of water. It's gonna be hot. But yeah, that's that. So you got your trail cams out yet? That's not. He goes. That wasn't on the darn show notes.
No, the last several weeks have been,
House hunting.
yeah, we've been a little occupied.
Yep.
So no, I have not. But I
So if
need to,
you
and I
so,
will.
so as we said, we're transitioning out of the competition season into hunting season.
Hmm.
And me and you know what that means for us as being in the industry, right?
It's already started to show.
Oh, yeah, it sure has. But what I wanted to say is if you've gotten your cameras out and you've been feeding those, what you call them, pine? What do you call them?
Pine
Pine
goats.
goats? That's what you always call them,
Yeah,
pine
pine
goats.
goats. Old Georgia pine goat.
You feeding them Georgia pine goats, and you got some pictures.
Let's see them.
Yeah, exactly. If you got some pictures of some of your potentials you done named, or I mean funny racks or whatever you want to call them, look, I can just show you the pictures of the does that I got, because that's like freezer full, freezer full, freezer full. So that's how I look at it, because they taste pretty good.
Yep, yep. Just got
Um,
done eating some right before the podcast started.
but I'll tell you this. So if you got a picture, post it up. Let's see under this. You can post it in the comment section after you post your comments about shooting for fun. If you want to post a picture of your hunting rig, which bow you're using this year, and maybe some potential targets.
Yeah.
You know? So we would love to see that. If you didn't hear your information on the podcast and we missed it, send us an email at
GeorgiaArchery@gmail.com.
yep. And we have a calendar on the website that shows all these events, and has most of them have addresses to these events, because that's where we actually copy the calendar off of for what we talk about. And you can find that at
GeorgiaArchery.com.
there you go, www.georgearchery.com. Somebody posted a shirt that's got the American flag on it. It says, "Hey, it's
I
that time of year."
seen that.
So and the price was lowered, so we bumped the price down on that. So if you want to go get you an American flag
Oh,
Georgia
July
Archery logo,
perfect for July 4th.
hey, I don't know if it'll get there by then, but at least you'll have it. Um, those are print on demand, how that works. But
Got you.
yeah, so go out there and get you a shirt. Check it out. All of that, every little nickel helps. Be sure to share, like, and comment on all of the platforms that you either listen to or watch this event. That every week we try our best to get out and up. Yeah. Did I cover
I
everything?
think you got everything, dude. We're like 45 minutes into this gig.
Yeah. Well, some of those little rabbit holes we tried to fall into.
Hmm.
It happens. But look, before I sign off, take someone, teach them how to shoot a bow. It will last them a lifetime.
For sure.
Until next time, I'm Big John,
And I'm Robbie.
and we'll see you. end.